chest, train my mind so I forget. Sink your teeth into my bones, dig me out, then fill the hole. Tear me apart, tear me apart, and watch it burn. Tear me apart, tear me apart, and watch it burn. All that's left is a window to my soul. Come and get it. Mouth to mouth, I breathe you in. Swallow down your jagged sin. Let it drown inside my veins. The sweetest poison I could take. You make it an art, the way that you scar with every word. But before we reach the end, strip me down again. Come and get it one more time. If you wanna lose your mind, come and get it one more time. If you wanna lose your mind.
Okay. Thank you, everyone who is listening in on this broadcast of Self-Media and Society class. We have a class of media students who have been studying the media news that's been going out lately. We have 5 teams that are going to be talking today about 2 different topics. First, we're going to be having 3 teams actually 2 teams are going to be talking about privacy, the social media, selfies, nudies, all that kind of stuff. And then we are going to hear a couple of teams talk about the problems with racial inequalities and the police and how media supports it. So we're going to begin today with team number 1, and they're going to introduce themselves as Stephanie, Gonzalo, Nigeria, Victoria, and Kristen. They're all here today, and they're going to be talking in their podcast first about privacy and social media and the effect of the selfie on social kind of constructions and that kind of stuff. And so we'll listen to their podcast first, and then we'll come back and we'll interview them and talk to them live on Radio 568. If you want to Twitter us, we're not really watching the Twitter feed right now, but we certainly would like your tweets at Radio 568JJ. So let's listen to the podcast from team number 1 from Section 02. Fall 2014 here at John Jay College.
Hello, this is Gonzalo Ureña, and today I have with me Stephanie Nunez, Victoria Sanchez, Kristen Seriano, and Nigeria Rainey from class Social Media and Society, Section 02. In this broadcast, we'll be talking about privacy and social media. This question to me is very controversial. I believe that to an extent privacy on social media is still there, but we ruin it without even knowing it. On social media, you can say what you want, when you want, and post what you want, and decide who sees it and who doesn't. If you feel like you have no privacy, on the internet, then you should just get off all these social media sites like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and many more. In an article I read on a website called LinkedIn by Anna Cairo, she speaks about how social media sites actively encourage disclosure of information, and in most cases, people are willing to give up information without the thought at all. For example, one's birthday, employment information, holiday shippings, work functions, photos, and slowly a picture of how your life is going on online, and we have no idea that we're actually doing this. We don't realize it, but us ourselves are destroying our own privacy on social media without even realizing it. So privacy does exist. We just throw it away and we don't even know it.
Privacy is one of the most discussed topics when talking about the internet. This past August, a user on 4chan made good on a promise made several days ago and leaked nude revealing photos of Jennifer Lawrence, Lea Michele, Kate Upton, Vanessa Hudgens, and other famous young women. Many people say this leak is likely only the beginning. It's not clear what the people who leaked these photos hope to achieve beyond financial gain, but these leaked images are widely available and they always will be. There are many theories of how these people access these photos, but none of them are completely clear. The idea most support is that the hackers got the pictures from iCloud. The hackers apparently took advantage of a security flaw in Apple's online backup service. Apple said that the company's core computer systems were not hacked, but certain celebrity accounts were compromised by a targeted attack on usernames, passwords, and security questions, a practice that has become all common on the internet. Investigations say that the hacker had months planning to do this, but that they finally decided to share them online.
Apple first launched iCloud on October 12, 2011. In less than a week of its launch, iCloud had 20 million users, which is no surprise because like every new product Apple throws at us, we glorify it to the fullest. iCloud allows users to store music, photos, applications, documents, notes, contacts, and anything else you allow it to. Like any other device, system, or service, iCloud has its share of pros and cons. To start off, iCloud provides convenience, simplicity, and harmony for its users. Our files are literally at our fingertips no matter what device we may be using, and the only thing we really need is an email address and a few on and off sliders. Now, on the other hand, iCloud also provides doubt in terms of privacy and security. Hackers are alive and able in our world today and are just seeking to hack into someone else. Although iCloud is known as the holy grail of cyber break-ins as of July 2013, iCloud has 320 million users and is only increasing every single day.
Okay, so I'm here with Julia Ramos, and we're going to talk about her thoughts about the celebrity nude leak. After the celebrity nude leak, would you risk taking explicit pictures like that?
No, because technology is really weak, and I'm not gonna risk my privacy to be shown to the whole world because of that.
Okay, and would you do it even if the photos weren't leaked?
Not really. I don't like to show no one my privacy, no matter who the person is. I don't like it. I don't agree with it. And your privacy, the word is really, really privacy. You know the meaning of privacy. It says a lot.
Okay, thank you. So I'm also here with Carlos, and Carlos, what, after the celebrity nude leak, would you risk taking explicit pictures like the ones that were found?
No, the answer is no.
Can you elaborate?
The answer is no for the simple reason that that wasn't something that it was going to be new. We all know that the same way people in the past robbed the bank for money, so the era of technology is the same thing. That's being robbed. They could do that many times, and that's something, as I said it again, it was something new, something that was going to be done in the past, and it will continue to be done in the future.
Okay, and would you take those kind of pictures even if they weren't leaked?
I continue with my solid answer no, for the simple reason that even if I'm in a restaurant or maybe in front of the building or maybe washing my car, they could use my head, only my face, and put in any other naked body. The main thing is to damage the personality or to transform the personality in something that is not good. My answer is no, shouldn't be like that.
Okay, thank you.
Setting your profile to private is the closest you can get to having privacy on social media. But even then, since it is the internet, you always run the risk of your private affairs being shown to the world. Once you put something on social media, it is no longer private, so there should be no expectation of privacy. People should be more conscious of the things they post on social media because it is technically open for anyone to read. Although an iCloud glitch is different. iCloud is made up of your personal pictures, messages, and other things that are supposed to be kept safe and private. It seems like social media is censored, but not very well. Someone can post obscene things and go weeks or even months undetected. But at the end of the day, what we post should be under our own jurisdiction and no one else's.
Okay. So that's team number one, and it's their take on selfies and social media and whether or not you want to post nudies up on the internet. It seemed as though many of the teams this semester were really focused in on this idea of selfies and putting up actually nude selfies, and the Jennifer Lawrence question came up a lot, and it's going to come up later in this program with other teams. But this is team number one here at Radio 568, and I just wanted to go around the table and have everyone introduce themselves, their majors, and is anyone listening? Please go right ahead.
Hi, my name is Nigeria Rainey, and my major is Law and Society.
Hey, my name is Gonzalo Polo Ureña, and I don't have a major. I am undecided.
My name is Victoria Sanchez, and my major is Forensic Psychology.
My name is Stephanie Nunez, and my major is Forensic Psychology.
My name is Kristen Soriano, and I'm majoring in English.
Great. And if everyone could just speak up just a little bit more, so we can get your voices out there. I've got the mixer cranked up all the way, but you need to kind of throw your voice just a little bit into the mic. My first question was, who's Carlos?
Oh, that's...
And identify yourself so we know who it is who's talking.
Oh, it's Victoria.
Hi, Victoria. Who's Carlos?
That's my dad.
Oh, Carlos is your dad. Okay.
Yeah.
You sounded like you didn't want to out him.
Oh, no, because, yeah.
Okay. Were you surprised by his opinions?
Actually, I was.
In what way?
I wasn't expecting him to just come out like that. I was just expecting a simple yes or no, but he explicitly explained all his reasons and stuff. So.
Right. I mean, and he pretty much stuck to his point, didn't he? He didn't get off his point. He said, "That's what I think."
Yeah. He wasn't gonna be moved.
That's right. Well, is that the kind of person he is? He's like a
yes.
person who won't be moved.
Yes.
So if you try to make an argument with him, he's not going to change his mind.
Yeah, no, he's very hard-headed.
Okay. All right. Well, we know your father's opinion. So did you guys interview anybody else?
Yeah, some friends, but they couldn't come on the mic. They weren't comfortable.
Oh, okay. But your father seemed comfortable. He knew he was going to be broadcast. Do you think he might be listening?
No, he's working.
He's working. Okay, well, you can listen to the podcast afterwards. I wanted to get everyone talking, and we can go around the table. And my first question was, as I said, a lot of the teams have chosen this topic of selfies and nudies and Jennifer Lawrence and privacy. Why are we so interested in this? What is it that has grabbed our attention?
Well,
and please identify yourself so we know who you. So we know who
this
it
is Gonzalo Polo Ureña. I believe that selfies are why they're so important and they spark people's attention is because you can say one is very insecure with themselves, so they want to see other people and try to change themselves. Yeah, that's what I believe.
Okay, so the selfie is a way to change yourself in public?
Yeah, how people view you.
All right, so it's not to change yourself; it's how to change how people see you.
Yeah, your image.
Okay, so okay. Anyone else on this? Why are these selfies so part of our social construction? It's part of our imagination now. Yeah, if you identify yourself.
My name is Stephanie.
Stephanie, hi.
I believe that nowadays people like to repeat what others does, and once one person starts taking selfies, that's all you know, and that's all you're gonna do. And as you see others doing it, you're just gonna do it again.
Okay, so your reason is we're doing it because we're just following the crowd.
Yeah.
All right, and that's why it's become such a phenomenon.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna propose real quickly, and if everyone can get in on this, is that this idea of the selfie is really something that's been around for a long time. Maybe it's been around since the time of the mirror. There is a book that came out just recently called How We Got to Now by Stephen Johnson, and he talks about certain inventions, and one invention he talked about was glass. And glass, of course, is what a mirror is, and so one of the inventions was the mirror. And it's possible that up until the time we didn't have mirrors, we weren't so focused on ourselves. Is there anything about the mirror that we all have that relates to the selfie? Anyone?
Well, Stephanie, I mean that when you take a selfie, you're kind of seeing yourself kind of in a mirror, just that it's just a picture. You're seeing what is in front, like you're seeing yourself in the exact moment you're taking the picture, so it's kind of like looking at the mirror. But
so the selfie is maybe it's not so much putting something out into public, it's a way for you to see yourself.
Yeah.
Anyone else?
I agree with that.
And to identify yourself.
This is Nigeria. I agree with that in a sense, like, it is like how you view yourself. You know, if you think you look nice, you want to take a picture, you keep looking at it. But I also agree with what Gonzalo said about it's about your image, also how you want other people to see you.
Okay. So it's both. It's both how you see yourself and how others see you. We have one more. Do you want to say something?
Kristen here. I feel
Thank you.
I feel like a mirror and a selfie are similar because you're looking at yourself, but the mirror, I guess, the selfie gives you like you can take as many selfies as you want, and you can look at yourself in the mirror as many times as you want. But the selfie captures like that certain image of yourself that you want, in order for other people to see that person right there.
Okay, but I can see where I know my behavior. It's like I'm looking in the mirror and I'm trying to get the best look. It's like I'm trying to say, oh, my hair's like this, my hair's like that, I got to shave here. And it's like, even though I don't think I'm vain or particularly pretty, I look at the mirror to get the best look. And I want that best look to look back at me. And I just wonder if that's something about how the selfie works, too. Last thoughts? Okay, that's the group team number one. I'm going to move on to team number two. We're going to play their podcast. Again, it's the same kind of topic on the selfie and its importance to our society, and then we'll talk to them after. This is team number two on Radio 568, part of the Self Media and Society class.
Yeah, so I'm going to ask you a couple questions.
Wait, first of all, since when you going to school?
Your favorite?
Since when you going to school?
Listen, I'm trying to get my life.
You didn't even graduate kindergarten. What the
I'm
hell?
trying to get my life together, Paul, okay? Have some damn respect.
All right, go ahead and ask me this damn question.
All right, I got to ask you two questions, just two questions, all right? When do you take selfies?
You know what the hell's damn selfie? What the hell you asking me?
When you take the
phone? What the hell are you asking me? I don't even know what the hell's a damn selfie.
Selfies when you take the phone, take a picture of yourself, Paul.
Do I look like I take a picture of my damn self? If I want to go take a picture of myself, I'll go to a damn photo shop.
You want to take.
But first, let me take a selfie.
Welcome everyone to another segment on Radio 568. You're here with Group 2 from Self Media and Society class. I'm Miriam, and I'm here with
Califia, Heidi,
Andrew,
Benjiba,
Paul.
We're here today to talk about selfies.
So we went out interviewing our peers to see what they think about the evolution of the selfie. We have many interesting ideas about it, so let's listen to what our peers think of the selfie.
Selfies can be a way one can express themselves in various different ways.
I don't necessarily know why selfies evolved. They're just a form of expression. It's a natural progression of humans. We always strive to make things better, and selfies just became one. Photography went from something that wasn't as flexible to now it is. Like selfie, you take selfies wherever. Sometimes it might not be appropriate, but now you could take selfies wherever you're at with whoever you want at any time because of our electronics. The meaning of a selfie, I feel that people look too deeply into it. It's just taking pictures, just taking a picture of yourself. It doesn't make you vain, doesn't make you stuck up. It's not a fault in our generation. It's a picture that you take of yourself and it's accessible. You don't need to pose. There's no guideline for a proper selfie. I feel like people put those pressures on themselves. I just feel like selfie is a selfie. And it's fun and it's quick and it just shows how far our society has gone.
So guys, what are some experiences on the thoughts about the selfie?
As technology progressed and people started getting phones with front cameras, selfies started coming out.
I think the selfie is a cool way for us to express ourselves on social media. Some people can see it as being vain, as taking constant pictures of ourselves, but I guess it's this generation's way of broadcasting their self and such.
So yesterday I went to a cafe with my mom to have some tea, and I noticed that a group of people came in to sit at the table next to us, and they instantly took a selfie. And then after they took the selfie, they never even made eye contact with each other, rather just putting up the selfie up on Instagram. So I guess people don't like socializing anymore, and they just like showing social media how they spent their day with a selfie.
I think selfies an innovative way to take pictures, because before we would have to ask somebody else, to hold the camera for us. As now, if we want to take a picture with anything or any object, we just hold our phones in front of each other and we just take a picture and just upload it to any social media we want.
I don't like people taking my own picture because they make me look fat. So when I take my own selfie, I can make myself look skinny, so I feel happy in myself. But if a person takes a good picture of me, I'm happy, but still, I'll go with my selfie.
I think selfies cause insecurity and antisocial, because when you take selfies by yourself, you take like 100 selfies and then you pick which one looks the best and you filter it out. And I think that it's annoying. I mean, personally, I don't take selfies on Instagram. I don't take selfies. I barely take selfies. I just like make videos. So I think selfies just...
So overall, we all discussed how the selfie has changed over time and why the selfie itself changed. I'm glad we had this conversation, which helped us understand how the selfies change. Thank you for tuning in with us. This was Radio 568.
She definitely bought all her Instagram followers. Who goes out on Mondays? Okay, let's go take some shots. Oh no. I feel like I'm gonna...
Okay, so here we are. We're back on Radio 568. I'm adjusting the mic a little bit. Okay, and everyone is on, and so we're here with Team 2. We just heard their podcast, and I'd like to go around the room and introduce everybody. So if you could introduce yourself, that would be great. So go right ahead. We'll start with, go ahead.
Hi, my name is Khalifia. My major is political science.
Hi, my name is Miriam, and my intended major is criminology.
Hi, my name is Paul. My major is economics.
Hi, my name is Andrew. My major is criminal management.
Hi, my name is Heidi, and I'm a criminal management major.
Hi, I'm Danjita, and my major is international criminal justice.
Great, thank you, everybody. So no one's listening at this point.
Not really.
Oh, so okay, because part of your work was to get audience. So do you know of anyone who might? Yeah, you need to make sure to get close to the mic, otherwise we're not going to hear you.
No, we posted up on social networks.
Okay, so if everyone could be like 4 inches away here, that would be like about where I am, 3 or 4 inches, and then we'll be able to hear everybody. I've got some ambient sound coming in, and I just want to see if I can fix it before we begin. Okay, I think we're okay. So let's begin. We're talking about the selfie here. And as I said, this seems to be a really big, interesting topic in all of my classes. I had a number of podcasts on the selfie, and I wonder why you think this has become such a big part of who we are, and why did you all choose that, and why do you think so many teams decided to do their project podcast on the selfie? And anyone?
I think this is because nowadays we
Please
have
identify yourself.
I'm Paul.
Hey, Paul.
I think that the reason why selfies is such a big topic when we talk about technology is because like it's such an easy use. Like you can just have your phone and just take a selfie of anything that you want. It's basically you just do nothing and you have a photo whenever you want, and it's just really easy to use, and then you just share it and people like seeing that.
Okay, but of all of that, what is the one thing that makes it that makes it really important to you? I mean, you lived with that. Well, maybe you've had selfie your whole life, but I mean, for a long time we didn't have selfies. So, why is it something that's done all the time?
Just because now it's just so much easier. I think it just goes back to the fact that you don't need to ask anybody. You don't need to bother. Take a picture of me with this statue. You could just grab your phone out and just put the
Okay,
camera
so
in front.
it's popular because it's easy.
Some would say.
Okay, any other ideas?
This is Heidi. Social media has become very important and very central to our social networking with our friends. Everyone's uploading selfies on Instagram, Facebook, and we look forward to seeing other people's selfies, and it's just very popular within our generation.
Right. I mean, I get it, and you're describing, both of you are describing something that is popular and that is easy, but what made it popular, and just because, I mean, it's easy to get a glass of water too, but how many of you had a glass of water today? So what is it that makes it so? And I'm not sure that I'm getting an answer that works for me, and so maybe we need to think of that. But let me go on to another question, and that is, how do you produce the best selfie? Maybe we can get some other voices in here.
Hi, my name is Clefia, and on today's smartphones that we use, we have a lot of apps that can give us variations of types of pictures you want. If you want your picture to have a glitch, download the glitch app.
Explain a glitch.
Like, you've seen those old school televisions where the people on the television have like a glitch in their face, or it's not as HD as it is now, and you'll see like two versions of yourself on the picture, but it'd be a blurred version in the back and the regular version of you in the front with like variations of colors.
And so you can actually selfie both image.
Yep, and then you have like apps like VistaCam where you get to have your selfie have a background too, or you can have people take their selfies with the iPhones because they feel like the camera's better. If it has more pixels or has more pixels, the higher the pixels, the better the picture.
So do you think that iPhones, I heard that their pixelation has gotten improved.
Yes.
Is it because of selfies? Do they see the popularity of that and that people want to have better looking selfies?
I think that people on Apple, they see that people love pictures, so each time they have a new iPhone come out, they advance with their cameras because they see that people love about the iPhone. So if your camera is better, people are going to buy it. They have better pictures. They don't have to buy an actual camera. They have a better camera on their phone.
Yeah, but I'm saying, is it driven by the selfie as opposed to just taking a picture of your family?
Sort of, kind of, I would think. Not for everybody.
Because the selfie seems to be so popular. I see people are doing it in class early in the semester. Someone in here, I think, is, you can out yourself if you want or not.
Well, to add on to what she was saying, I think the best way people take selfies, they take numerous amount of selfies and they pick which one's the best one. And like as she was saying, you can filter it, you can make it look more better, and that's why I was talking about the insecurity, because you try to make yourself look better for everyone to see.
Okay, so let's talk about that. Is the selfie really an indication of insecurity? In other words, I don't like the way I look, and so I'm going to put out a PR on myself, public relations. I'm going to show myself as the way that I really look, and therefore, but it's really coming from insecurity because I don't like the way I look.
Yes, this is Heidi again.
Yeah.
There's a lot of competition, especially between girls. They put up a selfie and they see that and they want to look better, or they want to get more likes on Instagram or gain popularity through that selfie or anything. It's all about competition these days. So I guess within selfies there's competition also.
My name's Clefia, and I think the insecurity comes in when, as a person, you go and filter multiple pictures of yourself. Like it's not even you anymore because you shaped and formed the picture to look like somebody else, so that the people around you like you. You don't even care who likes the picture, as long as you get your likes up, so that you can appear popular to the society.
Well, so I mean, I think that's a very interesting idea. That the selfie is really not you. It's some kind of edited, blown up version of the you want to be, but not the you who you think you are. Or so does it become? Does the this is an interesting idea. Does the selfie that you take, and let's say you do like a grade A plus selfie, you look and you go, wow, that's some selfie. Boy, I wish I looked like that, but it's you. Yeah. Have you ever done that? And then you walk around all day trying to be the selfie? Anyone have that experience? I've never done a selfie, so I don't know.
I'm pretty sure when people upload a selfie and they think they look good and then they get many likes, they feel themselves. They get very happy, and they don't know that they look like that, but it's really because of the editing they use, and sometimes they walk around like they're all that, but it was all that work on.
Yeah, but I'm wondering if that image then becomes set in your mind as to who you should be, and then you try to be that, which is the selfie. In other words, you're trying to create that as you walk through life. In a way, you've kind of become a celebrity in which you have to look a certain way.
This is Miriam, and I believe in certain cases that happens because some people become Facebook famous or Instagram famous because of pictures of themselves that they put up. But like they don't understand that not many people would notice them outside of Facebook or Instagram. It's because of those selfies that they changed so much that people see and like.
Right. This is very interesting. I got to move on to the next group, but thank you all. Hope you liked broadcasting, and maybe next time you'll actually get someone to listen to the live broadcast. This will be podcast, and so we're cool about that. Anyway, this is Radio 568, and we're going to go on to team number 6. Their podcast is about privacy and how our privacy is being hacked. I think they get a little bit into Jennifer Lawrence and that kind of thing, but I'm not sure, and we might be talking about that. So let's go on to the podcast of team number 6. I invite them into the studio, and here we go.
Everyone, welcome back to Radio 568. This is Team 6. My name is Ryan, and today we will be talking about a very delicate and controversial topic. Privacy is something we are all entitled to. Some consider it an unwritten right, while others look at it as a right given to us. As of today, I think it is a right that has been given to us because we expose ourselves too much on social media, which can lead to hacking of private information, as well as our privacy being used by Facebook and Twitter, and are being given to marketing companies and government agencies by Facebook and Twitter. I feel we have put ourselves in this situation due to our carelessness and irresponsibility. I would even go as far as to say even our immaturity has brought this upon us.
Hello, my name is Catherine Guerrero, and I'm going to talk about how us humans use the internet to expose ourselves by giving our basic information. In Facebook, we put where we're from, the school that we went to, and our birthday. Hackers use our basic information to hack into our accounts. We also tweet about what we're doing and how we feel. And we put pictures on Instagram which tells people where we're at. We basically make it easier on ourselves for us to get hacked. People have been hacked before, but they just make another account and expose themselves again. My little cousin was hacked before, just because of the information that he put on his Facebook. This person changed his password and even hit up his friends cursing at them. Exposing yourself leads to problems. In Facebook, people put their entire life information just so other people can find them, but they just don't know that they are at risk by being hacked.
My name is Batiste, and I want to talk about privacy being used for marketing companies. social media websites, we reveal information about ourselves that we wouldn't say out that much in public. Sometimes they're personal, sometimes they're not that serious information about ourselves. But social media websites tend to have problems that not many of us know about. Ever since the release of the NSA scandal, we've known that social media websites have been giving information to governments. But what some people don't know also is that they also give private information to marketing companies such as like Apple or Microsoft or all these various tech companies. And with this type of information, they use these private information to market you various products that you like to hear about. Like whether or not you talk about how you like the iPhone, you'll be getting various cell phone ads and mostly Apple ads as well, talking about the iPhone 6 and all its special features and trying to tell you how much it costs, whether or not you should buy it or not. And this is becoming a rather big issue where everything we think or say about is already being listened to by companies that only want to make profit out of us.
My name is Jocelyn, and I will be talking about hacking with some serious invasion of privacy. With technology getting more and more involved with our lives, we leave ourselves vulnerable to hackers who can easily hack into our computer systems or networks and check any and every information about our personal lives. For instance, there's a program called Stream where it allows you to send an email to anyone and that email contains an image. However, it is not an actual image. The computer that opens the email requests permission to see this image and allows the original server which the email came from, the computer's IP address. The sender of the email is then able to see this IP address and find a location of the person who had opened the email. This is one of the many ways people can hack into your privacy. Hackers can also hack into someone's email and send a mass email to everyone in the contacts list. And this email contains a virus that allows the hacker to enter from a back door and see into other people's privacy if that email is opened. The truth of what hackers can really do in our lives is extremely frightening.
We have explained how marketing invades our privacy and how we expose ourselves in the social media. We are technically saying that in this generation we have no type of privacy, not even in our emails. So they could use a little virus from our computer just to hack in. A lot of people hack into our devices, but we still depend on it for many things, like school, and our personal lives, and even our jobs. When they hack into our emails, they send you something like, oh, you won $2,000, but in reality, you didn't. People still keep using their devices even though they know the probability of being hacked, just because it's necessary for their life.
Okay. So we're back in the studio. We're live with team number 6 here at Radio 568. And this team was talking about something a little bit different than the selfies and the problem with putting out nudes on the internet. Here we're talking about privacy and hacking, certainly related, and how maybe when we put stuff out on the internet, on our devices, that it's visible for other people to see. But in order to get started, I'm going to move around the table. I'd like everybody to introduce themselves. What is your major? And is anyone listening? Give a shout out. So go right ahead.
My name is Catherine, and I'm undecided.
My name is Jocelyn, and I'm majoring in forensic science.
My name is Jasmine. I'm majoring in criminal justice.
My name is Adis, and I'm majoring in criminal justice.
Good. Adis, you sound nice and loud. Everyone else needs to kind of pick up the volume just a little bit. So I'm hoping that the next time we broadcast, we'll actually try to get people to listen to the live broadcast, because that's, to me, it's kind of a little more exciting, listen to it live than actually listening to the recorded podcast, because then it's done and it's not quite as live. So if we could shut the door, someone could reach over. So we're talking here about hacking, and I was listening to a radio program on NPR about the Snowden documentary that's coming out called Citizen 4. Does anyone know who Citizen 4 is?
No, I haven't heard of it.
Yeah, Citizen 4 is Snowden. He's referred to as Citizen 4. Exactly why, I don't know. I'd just have to see the documentary. But the director of this documentary, who actually interviewed Snowden, He's the guy that put out all of the secrets about the NSA and the government snooping on our, on our devices, and how open we are to the government, and how other governments are open to our government, and secrets are not kept. And so Snowden, you all recognize Snowden, who is here referred to as Citizen 4. The director of this documentary called Citizen 4 said that she's off the web. She doesn't have a cell phone. She doesn't. She protects her information as much as possible. She does landline, and so she's become very aware of how permeable our information is, how it gets out there. And I just wonder, how do you feel about that? How do you feel about the fact that, in fact, everything that you do, Facebook, messaging, it's all out there. There is no privacy. And do you want to do something about it? And so that's basically the question I wanted to ask you.
Well, this is Jocelyn, and just thinking about like your private, like your basically your personal life, like out there, being shown to like a huge audience. It's kind of like scary, and but then at the same time we kind of put ourselves in that situation by
what makes it scary? What is it? What's scary about it?
I mean, it's like friends, like it's friends of friends who can see like what you're eating for dinner, what like where do you live, or like where are you visiting, or where are you going, basically. And
how is that scary?
Well, because
and anyone else can throw in. Jocelyn doesn't have to control the program here.
This is Jasmine. I kind of agree with Jocelyn when she means it's scary, because I feel like it's kind of nerve-wracking to the fact that you have all your business out, like basically exposed to probably people you do know, some of your friends' friends, and then people that you don't even know, just looking at your, basically your every move. But I feel like we put ourselves out there, but we need to learn to put ourselves out there to a certain extent, which means like you put your business out there, but don't put your personal business out there. You choose what to put out there, so you won't have so much of yourself exposed to people that you really don't know.
Yeah. How about the fact that we just don't really care that we put ourselves out there? We do these selfies, nude, semi-nude. We're always putting ourselves out there. Facebook, we're putting ourselves out there. That maybe we just don't care about that anymore. Who cares if someone knows that I'm at McDonald's now?
I'm not saying that we don't care. I mean, we should care if we put out. I mean, people who put their nude selfies out there, obviously they don't care, but certain people do care. That's why I feel like you should pick and choose what you put out there. If you don't pick and choose what you put out there, then obviously you don't care. But me, myself, I care.
Okay, so you care, and let's get everybody else in on this. You care, so what do you do about it? What do you do about making yourself more private, more secure? Are you doing anything? And if not, why not?
This is Catherine. I think it's just you have to think about what do you tell people. Like, you just don't tell people what you're doing every day or every minute of the day. Like, you could just put like, oh, what movie's good. You don't have to like go say where you went at. That's how your privacy is being like it just depends what you say on Facebook, or what pictures you put on Instagram. Like, people are exposing themselves, so then that's how like our privacies are like not being controlled.
And so what you do is you just make sure to just put out that information that you think is shareable and not anything else.
Oh, this is Jocelyn. I just want to add in something. I think as like humans, as human beings, we kind of want to communicate and we want to share our experiences. So we just like put things out there that are personal, but we need to learn to limit ourselves.
Okay, so in other words, don't do anything. Like don't get rid of your cell phone or your iPhone or whatever, but just limit what you put out there. Any final thoughts?
This is Adis, and what I want to say is that private information that we have doesn't necessarily have to be about social media websites. Searches that you make also count as private information.
Exactly.
Because every time you search for something, all those searches are recorded and sent to either companies or the government, such as when you're searching on how to make a bomb, you're already on the government's watch list.
You're on the watch list now because you used the words how to make a bomb. this program is now on the watch list.
But yeah, it really sounds ridiculous. But there's been news about these types of issues where young people who've made like jokes about bomb threats to schools would get arrested. But not only do government watches us, but marketing companies as well. So depending on what you search, marketing companies would use this type of information and then broadcast advertisements. So usually you would see like, if you're interested in computer parts because you know you love gaming and all this other stuff, you'll be getting tons of advertisements of the new GTX 780 or the AMD graphics card, etc. You'll be getting tons of advertisements such as that instead of like other weird ones that you see sometimes.
Right, and it's and not only that, but I'm seeing where I am, where I'm moving, where I'm not moving, and all of that can be collected and agglomerated, and then stories could be made up about me as being what I'm not. So I don't think it's right. I don't think, as it is said, it's just social media. Thank you all. Very interesting discussion. We're going to now move on to team number 4. And team number 4 and team number 5 talk about the police force. And team number 4 is going to talk about racial inequality in the police force. We're going to try to focus it in on the media and its effect, but they talk more generally about racial inequality in the police force. And we're going to hear team number 4 right. Let me see if I can get them. Okay, right now.
Mama was raised in the era when clean water was only served to the fairer skin. Doing clothes you would have thought I had help, but they wasn't satisfied unless I picked the cotton myself.
Yo, that was my man Kanye rapping about racial inequalities and new slaves. And now this is
Self, Media,
and Society. Hey, I'm Andrew Reyes.
I'm Olivia Lima. I'm Stephanie Mendoza.
I'm Alexander Turaraka.
I'm Ajibala Allison, and today we're going to be talking about the correlation between race and the police force. How is this portrayed on the social media?
Now we're going to play a video based on the Trayvon Martin case and how the media portrayed it to the public.
When you have that kind of discussion, the discussion isn't really about the actual issue that's on the table. It's about these larger issues that are proxies. So if you can have this discussion outside of conflict, then you can actually try to understand the other person's point of view a little more. You don't do that when you're in the middle of a heated battle. I'm constantly pushing for coverage of race that falls outside of crisis. Let's consider making race a more central and steady part of our news process. Let's talk about it more often.
Ultimately, will trial coverage of the kind that we've seen in this case be useful to us?
Will we learn something from all of this coverage? I don't know, because so much of the impact of this trial is going to be wrapped up in what the verdict is. That's when we're going to see all this commentary about race and people talking about the criminal justice system. If the jury comes back and says that George Zimmerman is guilty of second-degree murder, there are going to be people who feel like finally the system got pushed into delivering justice for Trayvon Martin's family. And there will also be a lot of people who will feel that the system got bullied into sacrificing a guy who should not be going to jail.
So this video basically discusses how the media can intensify feelings of activism, showing how the media has the power to bring out people from their homes and protest and advocate for what they believe in. I also feel the media puts pressure on the judicial system to order in favor of the masses, so talks of unlawful and immoral court decisions don't consume the minds of U.S. citizens.
Which leads me to talking about the Ferguson case, which is happening in St. Louis, Missouri since August. The controversy with this case is a debate on whether Mike Brown, who was shot 6 times and killed by a Ferguson cop, was surrendering or making an advance towards the cop. Here's a video from Fox News further explaining the investigations occurring within the Ferguson Police Department.
The focus of this newest investigation will be into the overall patterns and practices
of the Ferguson Police Department, not just about what happened in the Michael Brown case. Critics of the Ferguson police claim officers disproportionately target black motorists for traffic stops and point to the makeup of the force, which is predominantly white, although the town's population is roughly 70% black. The Justice Department's Civil Rights Division will head up this new probe and has been busy with similar investigations, opening nearly 2 times the amount of bias probes into police departments in the last 5 years as the DOJ did in the 5 years previous to that. If they find any bias or discrimination, the end result will likely be a directive or directives from the Justice Department about changes the police department will have to make internally.
So I feel like this video and this case alone is actually a really big eye-opener on how corrupt our justice system is to this day when race is involved, which I believed was actually like long gone. Mike Brown is just seen as a thug in many biased reports, but who knows what actually made him the person he is. He's being defined by his race, not the person he was, and this can ultimately affect the outcome of this case.
And guess what, Olivia? You're not the only one that feels that way. The president partner of Twitter, @CJMusicLawyer, actually created a hashtag, #IfTheyGunMeDown, which is a form of activism which shows how selfies of minorities is portrayed in the media. For example, if I were to take a selfie of me going to a party, having a bottle of vodka in my hand, versus me going to church, and I had an encounter with a cop and they gunned me down, the media would portray the picture with me the bottle of vodka in my hand because I'm a minority. Now, to get more information on this, you could go to actually the guy's Twitter feed, which is Young Gifted and Black @CJ_music_lawyer. Or you could just go to Google and type in the root #IfTheyGunMeDown. It's that simple.
The cause for concern for me, at the very least at this point now, is that while it has been on the news for a myriad amount of days, even weeks maybe, the attention has been seen to dying down, and it seems like the protests are on their last legs. And I believe it's something that should be brought to more attention, considering that, these aren't new problems that we're having. We've been having these same problems for hundreds of years. And to be in 2014 and to be having racial violence against one another is just completely unfathomable.
I recently read an article on BBC.com. It's called Ferguson Weekend Protests, Police Arrest 17. This article talks about thousands of people having taken part of rallies, vigils, for a 4-day event named Ferguson October. A protester, Montague Simmons, said, "We are here to bring peace, to bring restoration, to lift our banners in the name of those who've been sacrificed." However, St. Louis Police Chief Sam Dotson tweeted on how all the protesters engaging in illegal behavior will be subject to arrest. It's astonishing how the amount of hatred this chief received. They called him a Nazi pig, and they also said that he didn't understand, and he basically forced them to take in violence, because those protesters started throwing rocks at him, and bricks, not him specifically, but at those officers. There's basically always 3 sides to a story: the cops, the protesters, and the actual truth. It's up to you to decide which one to take.
Okay, thank you for listening, guys. I'm Ajibola Allison.
I'm Stephanie Mendoza.
I'm Olivia Lima.
I'm Alexander Tararaka.
And I'm Andrew Reyes. Thanks for listening.
Okay, thank you, group. That was team number 4 talking about racial inequality, police force, and with some comments on how the media affects all this. I'd like to begin by everyone kind of introducing themselves, give a shout out to anyone that might be listening, and tell us what your major is.
Hey, my name is Andrew Reyes, and my major is computer science and information security.
Alexander Tararaka, economics.
My name is Olivia Lima. I'm majoring in international criminal justice, and my mom is listening. Hi, Mom.
Hey, Mom.
My name is Ajibola Allison, and I'm a criminal justice major.
I'm Stephanie Mendoza, and I'm majoring in English.
Okay, all right. Thank you all. Welcome to Radio 568, our small studio here at John Jay College. I think you had a very interesting discussion here, and I'd like to start with Andrew's comment about the selfie. In the previous teams, we had 3 discussions of the selfie and its impact on ourselves and society, and it creates insecurity. And we got around to the idea that the selfie is a created image of ourself, just like anything put out on media, it's created, it's edited, it is putting out an idea of who we are. It's probably filled with some kind of ideology of what we think is important, what we think is beautiful, or what we think is tough. Whatever it is we want to put out on ourselves. And Andrew brought up the idea then, and also sourced it, which I was very happy to hear, is that the police use the selfies in order to figure out who it is they have, when in fact the selfie is totally created. It's an imagined thing. So I can, take a picture of myself as if I'm Bonnie and Clyde. I'm not a criminal, but I took a selfie like that. But Andrew, you were saying that the police use that to profile someone that they have just picked up or looking at. Can you say more about that? Because I think that's really interesting. Or if anyone else has something they can add to that. This idea of selfie as now that's me, when it maybe is not really me.
Well, Professor, it's always about what you put out there and whose hands it gets into. Because just because it's out there doesn't mean it always has to be used for something bad. But what people do is that they take it and manipulate it into a way that can be bad. And that's what the media does. Like, let's say, for example, with Ferguson, just like if you went to the website that I said, you would have saw selfies that the Ferguson case Michael Brown took. And there were plenty of good selfies out there. But what the media did was took the bad ones and stereotypically showed the black kid as being a criminal or a thug.
Yeah, I want to differentiate between the media is just a conduit. The media, the way you're describing it is just it's just some place that you can put this picture. But the police are using it for other reasons without considering the fact that this is an edited image. This is a constructed image that just shows one piece of the person at that moment. But you're saying this could be used against them. Does anyone have any other? Yeah, go on.
Well, the police is a big force out there.
Yeah.
And since they need to make themselves look just all the time. So even if they are breaking the law or getting kids to look bad, they have to always, in the end, make themselves look right. That's why they don't care about screwing kids over, I guess you could say, with selfies that they take.
Yeah, yeah. I think, though, if they realize that these things are, they're made up. They're just like anything in media, like any film. It's made up, and that it's not. And we talked about social reality, that these selfies are not real. They are images of some idea we have about ourselves. Anyone else have an idea about that? I wanted to hear everyone's voice in this.
I don't know if the picture of
If you,
Barack
and please
Obama-
identify yourself. So, yeah.
I'm Stephanie.
Hey.
I don't know if the picture of Barack Obama shooting a rifle, was it a rifle? I think it was, right? And they just photoshopped into thinking something else, and they just portrayed the president as someone bad or someone not as good as we think that he is.
Right.
So Photoshop has a lot to do with us, the way we think of a person or a certain
And
topic.
so it's out in the media, and therefore it's real.
Yeah.
Therefore, that becomes reality, which is kind of what we were talking about. And then we have to realize that all this stuff is created. Go ahead.
Magibola. I think social media gives people a chance to basically pick and choose what they want to show. So, like, you can go on somebody's page and say they're being criminalized on national television. Like, the police force can pick and choose what they want to show the public, so basically the public can side with them, and side in favor with them, so they can so they can push what they want the world to see.
Right.
Basically.
Yeah, but again, as Andrew is saying, how does the world then interpret what you're putting out there? And you really don't have any control about that.
If it's all we see, we're gonna take it as what it is. I mean, we're not, because usually the average person isn't gonna go back and go on this page and see everything he has. They're just gonna watch the news and see what they get. So basically, they're gonna conform with what they see.
Okay.
Most times.
The other question I wanted to ask real quick was, is there any other way that media products create images of the young black man who is, the focus of police inquiry many times? Is there anything about the media that, or the young Arab man or the young Hispanic man, is there anything the media does to create an image in the police's mind as, these are real bad people?
Well, I would pardon me, Alexander.
It's Alexander.
I would say yes, of course. I mean, like, as we probably all know, sex and violence are probably the most selling things on TV. That's why shows like Cops, has been on for what, almost 20 years now. And any way that we see this, it's portrayed as minorities always being a criminal and doing something wrong, and then here comes the white cop trying to stop them doing their job. Another example of this would be the Central Park 5 when there were a couple of...
Excellent example, by the way.
Thank you. There were a couple of rapes and attacks in Central Park a couple of years ago, and the police didn't really know who caused it, so they picked up 5 kids that they saw that didn't really know each other, or I think they just lived around each other, and just accused them and said, you guys did this because you were at that time in the park, and just because you were hanging around there, I'm assuming you had something to do with it.
Right, and the media, I think, had a lot to do with convicting them because they took the police point of view and didn't really investigate other possibilities. We're gonna kind of wrap it up here. Is any other final thoughts about this, about the media's influence on how police have treat different groups unequally?
My name's Olivia.
Olivia.
Hi. A good example of that is the Ferguson case, I believe, because all the police reports say that Michael Brown was making advances towards the policeman on duty, and there are videos of witnesses that were on the scene that show other witnesses speaking with cops, saying that Brown actually did have his hands up, but yet the police report still said that Brown made advances to him, just
Right.
to make themselves look like he did a just thing.
And again, social news broadcasts are not necessarily true. They give a point of view, and they only deal with certain things, and we only get a kind of fractured picture of what's going on out there. Thank you all, group. We're going to move now on to team number 5, who also talked about social media and the police misconduct and how taking pictures of misconduct may or may not change their conduct. And so thank you, team number 4. We're moving on to team number 5.
My mama was raised in the era when clean water was only served to the fairer skin. Doing clothes you would have thought I had.
When he pulled up, these was his exact words. He said, "Get the F on the sidewalk." And we told the officer we was not but a minute away from our destination, and we would shortly be out the street. We was having a conversation, and he went about his way for about 1 or 2 seconds as we continued to walk, and then he reversed his car, and in a manner to where it almost hit us, and it blocked both lanes off the way he turned his car. So he pulled up on the side of us. He tried to thrust his door open, but we were so close to it that it ricocheted off us and it bounced back to him. And I guess that, got him a little upset. And at that time, he reached out the window. He didn't get out the car. He just reached his arm out the window and grabbed my friend around his neck and was trying to choke my friend. And he was trying to get away, and the officer then reached out and he grabbed his arm to pull him into the car. So now it's like the officer's pulling him inside the car, and he's trying to pull away. And at no time the officer said that he was going to do anything until he pulled out his weapon. His weapon was drawn, and he said, "I'll shoot you," or "I'm going to shoot." And in the same moment, the first shot went off, and we looked at him. He was shot, and there was blood coming from him, and we took off running. And as we took off running, I ducked and hid for my life because I was feared for my life, and I hid by the first car that I saw. My friend, he kept running, and he told me to keep running because he feared for me too. So as he was running, the officer was trying to get out of the car, and once he got out the car, he pursued my friend, but his weapon was drawn. Now, he didn't see any weapon drawn at him or anything like that, us going for no weapon. His weapon was already drawn when he got out the car. He shot again, and once my friend felt that shot, he turned around and he put his hands in the air, and he started to get down, but the officer still approached with his weapon drawn, and he fired several more shots, and my friend died.
Hello, my name is Sean Jones, and today I'm talking about social media and how is social media policing the police. I believe that social media is policing the police by bringing light the misunderstanding the police have for the people. Social media shows the lack of careless and training that the police have for the people. For example, the man who died by the NYPD placing him into a chokehold and leaving him on his stomach until he could not breathe. We the people would never saw that if it wasn't for someone video recording that and placing it on social media. I, Sean Jones, believe that the government should fear the people and not the people fear the government. Thank you.
Nowadays, police brutality is becoming something very common, especially in places near us, such as an incident that occurred after a festival in Brooklyn, New York. The 4-minute video exposed officers aggressively speaking with street vendors before taking one of them down. It was said that officers were aggressive when they first began talking to them. One of the officers asked the street vendor's sister to identify herself. Jonathan Daza, the street vendor, told his sister that she did not have to do so, and it all went downhill from there. This was when the officer, Vincent Chiadello, was unprovoked when he first kicked Daza in the back. Thanks to this video, Chiadello has been suspended from work since then.
My name is Tiffany Lopez, and I also believe that social media is policing the police. In the case of Miami police officers Winton Sankara and Sergeant Gonzalez, they were caught on camera neglecting 911 emergency calls. They would ignore these calls and play hooky by visiting their spouse's house, taking excessive coffee breaks, and sitting in restaurants lollygagging while they were supposed to be responding on the scene for calls. They would pretend that they were at the scene by writing reports when they were really never there. They were putting society in danger until they were unknowingly recorded by News Channel 4 after they have gotten reports and calls about their negligence. This was broadcasted on the news, and the officers were immediately terminated from their job positions.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Puello. I chose to speak on police brutality. Lately, there's been a lot of cases of police brutality caught on video and tape, and I believe that social media has been very helpful in helping the victims in these cases with the police brutality, because people are able to post the videos and there's evidence of these people being abused by the police. Also, I feel like with the cases with police brutality, if it wasn't for social media, a lot of these cases wouldn't be exposed or be put out there, so people are able to see how police do take advantage of their power.
This is George Zapata, and today we're talking about the way social media is policing the police, and I just want to go on to the way so much video footage has gone out there and been brought out to the public on people getting hit by police. For example, a man getting a teenager at that, getting hit multiple times for absolutely no reason. Another video recording where a man was shot just for not wearing a seatbelt, and when he went in to get his registration, he ended up getting shot repeatedly. All of this behavior is absolutely disgusting and unreasonable, and people are taking advantage of the power that is given to them. For example, me. I got arrested for skateboarding at Columbus Circle, and I got slammed against the wall and had a lump on my arm where I had a fresh tattoo done. None of this was recorded, so nobody was able to see the way that I was slammed, even though I stopped and put my hands up to tell the cops that I wasn't gonna run. They still slammed me anyway, just for skateboarding. And it's crazy the amount of times this goes on. This goes on every single day. Cops will also have the ability to turn off these cameras. And this is unfair, it's unjustified, and it should not be done. And no one is doing anything about it. Right away, I'm able to hear the way that a cop is beating a teenager, but I don't hear about the consequences for the cop. I don't hear about what's going on to the police officer after abusing his power.
My name is Natasha Green. Police have killed over 5,000 civilians since 9/11. It is estimated that between 500 to 1,000 Americans are killed by police officers every year, but more than half of them don't get reported on the news. How is social media policing the police? Are the police really getting into trouble for these killings? Just because it was caught on tape and posted all over social media, did anything really happen to those policemen? Take the shooting of Oscar Grant. Footage was caught of Oscar being pushed on the ground with 4 policemen on top of him. He was handcuffed and his face was to the ground. Then one of the policemen stands up over him and shoots him in the back. His excuse? He thought it was a taser in his hand and not a gun. What kind of cop doesn't know the difference between a taser and a gun? Isn't that training 101? When brought to court, he received no punishment. So is social media really making an impact on what happens to the policemen involved, or just shining light on an already troubled justice system?
Okay, I'm going to kind of fade out the sounds of a riot there in the background. Wait a second, let's play that through.
Let him go!
All right, people in the studio here, they couldn't hear that. I moved the sound of the gunshot to the end of your podcast. I thought it made a nice little end to your podcast. In which it probably was a police shot. So what we're going to do now is these students have to get on to their next class, so we're going to quickly ask them to introduce themselves, their major, and then the question is, does taking a shot of police misconduct, a videotape of it, putting it up on social media, does it make any friggin' difference? We'll start with mic number 1.
Hi, my name is Tiffany. My major is criminology. And I do agree about this topic because it shows how some policemen are really bad. It shows society, and by portraying it through social media, some of them do get fired, which also helps society in a way, I think.
Okay,
So it is positive.
good. So it does make a difference.
Yes.
All right.
Hi, I'm Naomi. My major is forensic psychology, and I also agree with Tiffany that it does help. Posting videos does help get the bad cops out of the streets as well as the bad people too.
Okay, so it does make a difference.
Yes.
Good. Okay, let's move on.
So yeah, my name is George Zapata, and I agree with everybody in the group. My major is undecided, so just to go on about the subject, I also agree because it brings certain actions of police officers into the light. It brings these videos bring these actions into public, which if it wasn't for these videos, a lot of people wouldn't know the true story of what is actually going on because, you know, at the end of the day, whose word are you going to take more seriously? Are you going to take the word of an actual police officer who went through school and worked all his life to get to that position, or are you going to go and believe in random civilian?
Okay, so it sounds like a mixed answer whether or not it's going to be effective or not, because some people are going to believe the police officer no matter what they see, and others are going to go ahead and use that video to interpret with the action. Let's go on.
Hi, my name is Jennifer Puello. My major is criminal justice, and I also agree because it's helping expose the bad cops, like Naomi said, and it's also helping make changes and stuff because people are able to see how some police are abusing of their power, and it's helping the victims get some closure.
Okay, so we have 3. It helps. 1 kind of a mixed, and yeah, go ahead, Natasha.
Hi, my name is Natasha Green. My major is forensic psychology, and I don't think posting it on social media makes a difference. A lot of the times when these cops get exposed to social media, the most that happens to them is that they get suspended, or that's the most you hear about them. A lot of times they're not fired. If they're suspended, they return back to work a couple months later still doing the same thing. So I don't really see how effective it is. It exposes it to the world just to see how messed up our justice system is, but I don't think nothing really gets done to them.
Okay, so we got 3 makes a difference, 1 definite does not make a difference, and we'll end up with Sean. So what is your feeling about this?
Hello, my name is Sean Jones, and my major is fire science. I believe that it does make a difference because it informs the public. And when you inform the public, now the public have the power to do certain things with that information. I believe that the NYPD or other police forces around the country, they get away with certain things. But now that social media is here, I believe that it is calming down, because I am a public servant as well, and we are here to serve the people. And I hear a lot of police officers say now, we have to watch how we do certain things, because now we are, being recorded. So the thing I really want to tell the people is that, the government should fear the people, not the people fear the government. And when you really understand that, then you really have justice.
I like what you said, Sean, that this does make a difference, especially from someone who is in the force, and we got the authority there. So we're going to end this program. We're going to go out with a little music. I thank groups 1 through 6 here. This is group number 5, and we'll have project number 3 is coming up at the end of the semester, and we're going to be talking about John Jay and John Jay News. So this is Radio568.com. Stay tuned.